this week's US CQM forecast alert is effect of November CPI on CQM and PCA forecast. On the expenditure side, the downward revision of real PCE and net export of deficit more than offset the upward revision of inventory changes in wholesale industries, and the GDP price deflator has been revised upwards. As a result, the economic growth has been revised downward to 5.24% and 2.88% respectively on both the expenditure and income sides. There is considerable difference in economic growth rate from both sides. This is because the statistical discrepancy of 2021 Q4 is estimated to be very large negative. Real federal government outlays, one of the economic variables that make up the principal component of the PCA forecast, was expected to rise 6.2% in November last week, but actually fell sharply to 6.4%. Likewise, real retail sales, which compose the principal component, were projected to decline 0.1% in November last week, but actually fell 0.3%. PCA forecast of real GDP growth has been revised down from 7.52% to 5.89% in 2021 Q4 due to a significant drop in real federal government outlays in November and a drop in real retail sales. Regarding inflation, both headline inflation and GDP price deflator are forecasted to grow at an annual rate of about 6% in 2021 Q4 due to the rise in CPI. Conclusion from this week's US CQM forecast alert. At present, the economic growth rate for the current quarter is 5% to 6%, and the inflation rate is 6%. The downward revision of PCA's economic growth rate is due to the fall in both real federal government outlays and real retail sales in November. The downward revision of the economic growth rate on the expenditure side is due to a real PCE down. The downward revision of the economic growth rate on the income side is due to the rise in the GDP price deflator. The low economic growth rate from the income side is due to the estimation that the statistical discrepancy of 2021 Q4 is as large as minus 575.8 billion. This slide contains additional information about this week's detailed CQM forecast, the original developer of CQM, and CQM theory papers.